Manushyanam saharsheshu kashit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhana kashimam veti tatvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who achieve perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So, perfection. How do you define perfection first? Siddhi. So, we have to have, first is most important, we have to have a standard for success. Correct? Siddhi means perfection, success. What is the standard for perfection we can have? Actually, according to Bhagavad Gita, all your standard of success will fail. Why? Because success means you overcome the 4 problems. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. That is success. Correct? Otherwise, people have a plan of success. It's not very interesting. It will not last. Somebody was asked this question, that what are you doing? He said, I'm making a very big house. Then he asked, why you are making this house? Now, after I make the house, I'll burn it. So this is a success in the society. Meaningless success. Just temporary. So if you look a little deeply, this is not success. Success is actually Janma mrityu jara vyadhi, if you can overcome this. And you cannot overcome that if you have awakened in knowledge. Prabhupada says, this is the actually real problem in life. And because people do not know the answer, they don't discuss this problem. You sit in a house, you go to your mother, say, let us talk about death. What do you say? Don't talk all these things. This is not Shubha. Ashubh cheez bolte ho. Correct? But actually, this is the problem. We are in a slaughterhouse. It's a problem in front of me. I'll be killed any moment. So success will be, how do I get out of the slaughterhouse? Success is not some kind of, the slaughterhouse. Yeah, somebody gave you garland in the slaughterhouse. I became prominent. I became noticed in the slaughterhouse. It's madness. What is it? Is it achievement? Among animals who are about to be slaughtered, you are noticed. What is this achievement? And that's how we are presently. We want to be noticed. We want to be recognized. We want to be, whole mind is. We can watch out actually. It is said nobody can be a good leader if he was never a good servant. And it is not easy to serve a Vaishnava. It is not easy. Not artificial in the air. It is real. Correct? You have seen that? Just like in a profession also. Unless somebody was a good assistant, he cannot be a good leader. Correct? It's true or not everywhere? He can never be a good leader. He'll never know. So perfection is not easy to understand. Perfection means actually the whole mood has to change. Sevon mukhe jivadau svayameva spurati adaha. The Sevon mukha, I remember when I joined ISKCON, there was one person, he was very old. In fact, he visited us some time ago. He must be now 93, 94. Last time he met me, he felt very sad. He said, I am feeling to commit suicide. I said, why? No, I am still healthy. I am still washing my clothes. I am still roaming around doing all my work. But now he doesn't have children. He has great grandchildren. They are waiting why I am not dying. They are wondering why I am not dying. You had a realization like that. You look, soch rahe mar kyun nahi raha? And 93, 94. I remember we used to go to the temple. He used to be the first person for Mangalarti every day. He used to walk and come from his house. Very determined person. Very nice. So, and I remember when he used to go to, we have, in the big temples, when Prabhupada Guru Puja is there, a big queue. So I used to see him, all his shoulders, old age, what happened, the shoulders come down like this. So I used to tell people, he's so humble. So somebody said, this is not humility. Watch. Is he ready to serve a Vaishnava? Then we know whether he's humble. It's not easy to serve a Vaishnava. Correct? It's not easy. That shows because we don't serve Krishna directly. We serve Krishna through his servants. Dasa, dasa, anudasa. And more we develop service attitude, more you can break the cycle of birth and death. You understand? There are two, Sevonmukha, Bahirmukha. So, Atha Shri Krishna Adi, Prabhupada quote the shloka and the purport, Na bhaved graham indriye, toward the end is saying, Sevonmukhai jiva, the moment you develop service attitude, you can break the cycle of birth and death. We are here because we revolt against service attitude to the Lord. So, we are brought here in the material world. We just cannot serve the Lord. We just cannot serve his devotees. Krishna is not alone in the spiritual world. Even Prabhupada is also not alone in the spiritual world. He is with devotees, correct? We develop a nice service attitude. Therefore, association of devotees is very important for that. Without association of devotees, you'll never learn how to serve a Vaishnava. You'll never learn. It is said, it is easy in the forest to do some meditation, but it is not easy to live among devotees, correct? So you will rub, somebody will rub, somebody will say, hey, you are an idiot, so you are crazy. But you can, no, I don't have service attitude, therefore my mind is revolting, correct? What are the small things, silly things, my mind is blowing up. Have I come amongst devotees for recognition, or I come to serve Krishna? Krishna will test, and Maya will throw out the people looking recognition among devotees. That's nonsense. Our heart is focused, so much focused. They gave the example of the house is on fire and two people are holding the pipe, and one person is saying in the front, why are you looking at me like this? And he throws the pipe. Arey, people are dying, Baba. Isn't it? People are dying. Why you are becoming so much enamored with a small thing? So this Siddhi is not easy to define. Siddhi, perfection, means when you can break the cycle of birth and death. So right in the beginning I gave you what will lead to Siddhi. Now let us analyze it a little. Okay? Siddhi means develop service attitude. And more you develop service attitude. I remember when I had joined the temple, sometimes because we come from Ugra Karma civilization, suddenly you're not going to change. And just even mentally or even physically, I remember whenever mind is agitated, just pay some obeisance to Vaishnavas. Mind becomes so calm. Actually, that is what is. You got it? Bahirmukha means I just cannot bow down. I just cannot bow down. Sevonmukha is just like the Goswamis. Raghunath Das Goswami used to give 1,000 obeisances to Krishna every day and 2,000 obeisances to the Vaishnavas every day. And he used to chant 64 rounds. And he used to drink half glass of buttermilk every day. You cannot imitate that, but understand the principle. Understand the principle. So if you want to break the cycle of birth and death, you have to come to Sevonmukha, service attitude. So this is actually Siddhi. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhi paramam gataha. Prabhupada says this is Siddhi. He catches the Siddhi from this shloka. This is Siddhi. Samsiddhi paramam gata. What is Samsiddhi? Mamupetya punarjanma. You reach Krishna's lotus feet. That is actually Siddhi. Correct? What we imagine as Siddhi in the society, some so-called recognition among fools, that is not Siddhi. Either in the society, outside the society, in the material world, in the spiritual association of whatever, wherever society, if you are looking for recognition, that is not Siddhi. You got lost. So Siddhi means you reach Krishna's lotus feet. That is Siddhi. Therefore in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna asks Arjuna asks Krishna, what are the symptoms of a person who has achieved freedom from the three modes of material nature and achieved perfection? Krishna says he become equal to honor and dishonor, equal to praise and insult. He become indifferent because he is focused on something else. He is not looking for marks, so-called certificates in this world. He is looking for being accepted by Krishna in his lotus feet. This all kachara he throws in a dustbin. He's not interested. He's just not interested. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam bhakti muttamam. Anya abhilasha, all other abhilasha, he rejects. Shunya, he makes it zero. Jnana karmadi anavritam, all kind of speculation. Therefore, Prabhupada books are enough. Sometimes people tell, this person said like that, that person said. I ask one question. Is it there in Prabhupada books? No, I am not interested. I am not interested. There is enough jnana can be done. Enough is there to understand here itself. We should not be excited in the information age. We are excited to get the sufficient knowledge from Prabhupada and realize that knowledge. Just reading this purport itself, we can read 100 times. So much deep meaning is there in this purport. But what happens? We are not reading the books properly. We read these books only for information. Then you want here, there, collect information. I've seen so many devotees get lost. They get lost. Okay? So jnana means what is needed for me to go to Krishna's lotus feet. That is jnana. Jnana means jnana karmadi, that is real jnana. Other kind of jnana, unnecessary jnana, I don't want. Anavritam, I'm not interested. Correct? Jnana here also refers to speculation. Therefore Prabhupada says we should read few books properly. Then simply read so many books. That is just to show off. I read that in that book. To read one book properly is not easy. I can show off. From this book I can get you one quote, and that good I can get you one quote, I can show off. But to understand, I have to read a book properly, which takes time, which is not easy. Prabhupada also says what is most important, who has translated the book. Correct? Very important who has translated the book. Okay? Prabhupada says it's not ABCD matter, it's a matter of realizations. So enough is there, have that faith, enough is there in these books to go back to Krishna's lotus feet. Don't get lost to unnecessary gyara. So that also anavritam, throw it away, don't waste your time. And definitely don't get lost into speculation. If you want to understand Krishna, don't speculate. What Shastra says, accept. Karma. Karma means any activity which is fruitive in nature, which will give me some personal benefit. Don't be attracted to that. So jnana karmadi anavritam, these two, jnana and karma, will spoil your bhakti. It will become a weed. Correct? Either unnecessary gyara or speculation will become a weed in spiritual life. And then karma, activities which are fruitive in nature. Activities which are for personal profit. Anukulena Krishna nusilanam bhakti muttamam. Rather we do everything for favorable for Krishna's devotion service, that is called bhakti. So that will lead to siddhi. Okay? Generally siddhi, what people know is Ashta Siddhis. Animalagima, Prapti, so many kind of siddhis. Becoming smaller than the smallest, becoming heavier than the heaviest. Vasita, trying to hypnotize somebody. It's waste. This is not siddhi. So Prabhupada is actually trying to identify what is real siddhi. Real siddhi is actually to become a pure devotee. That is very, very rare. Okay, this is fine. Because we are attached to speculation. We want to show off at 10 people. This word I know, that word I know. Arey Baba, why you are speaking? First, where is your vairagya? Where is your jnana? Then talk. Correct? Anybody speaks, easy to speak. Where is your jnana? Where is your attraction? And attraction is shown. Where is your vairagya? Vairagya means detachment. No detachment, then don't speak. There is no need. So many people, they show so much knowledge and they are so attached in this world. What is knowledge then? It's waste. The knowledge is zero. And knowledge should means fructify in the heart. Knowledge comes, there should be result of knowledge. Knowledge is not dry knowledge. Then we can be satisfied. But at the same time we can see there is no Sevon Mukha, then knowledge is zero. If the real knowledge of Krishna consciousness comes, Vidya, Vinaya. When real Vidya comes, first person becomes Vinaya. He becomes humble. True or not? It is said if Vidya comes, you don't become Vinaya, That is the dangerous like the jewel on the hood of a serpent. It's very dangerous. It is of no use, that knowledge. Correct? The real Vidya, it makes you understand how insignificant you are. Just like Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am lower than the, more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and more lower than the worm in the stool. Prabhupada said he is not speaking artificially. Actually, he feels it. True? So this should be a landmark of success. That actually I am seriously becoming a humble servant of the Lord, and a humble servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Okay? Then you will overcome the cycle of birth and death, and that is real Siddhi. Okay? So what generally people know as Siddhi? Some Ashta Siddhis. In movies, that's what they show. Some Babaji has done some tapasya and he got some powers. And that is generally shown as Siddhis, correct? That's all. We never knew anything more as Siddhi. But actually, to become a devotee of the Lord is Siddhi. How do you know? There is a very nice instance. When Indra sees Chitraketu, he says, Muktanam api siddhanham. He sees Vritasura rather. Chitraketu's body of Vritasura. He's surprised. There was a great battle. And in that battle, what happened? Vritasura was on the opposite side, great demon. He was offering great prayers to the Lord. And Indra, when he hearing those prayers, got struck with wonder. Because he is also a devotee, but not a pure devotee. But you can feel, see, just like if you are an engineer, you can understand, if you are a lawyer, you can understand a big lawyer, correct? What arguments he has given. We cannot understand. Because you are a lawyer, you know he has built his case very nicely. True, fine? Why not? In your field, you can understand somebody. So unless you become a devotee, you cannot appreciate a devotee. It will not be possible. So Indra is a devotee. So when he sees in front of him Vritasura, he understands, oh my God, I am nowhere. I am a Devata, king of the Devatas, and here is the personality, Vritasura. He is supposed to be a demon. Then he remembers Prahlad and other people who are so wonderful devotees. He says, Mukta nam api siddha nam narayana parayanaha. Then, Mukta nam api siddha nam narayana parayanaha. Sudullabha prashantatma koti yashivi mahamune. He says, among crores of sages, we can find one a pure devotee. So actually, to achieve Siddhi, who achieve perfection of life, here also it says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kashyadati siddhaye yatatam avisidhanam kashimam vetit. Very rare somebody achieve real perfection of life to become a devotee. Here, Indra also says, among crores of sages, we can find a one pure devotee. Very rare to get a pure devotee. We don't know how rare it is. You know, somebody is telling how was it proper time. People are running. People are just mad because they could see a pure devotee. People could not believe. You'll not be able to believe if the pure devotee is there. How fortunate I am. I am getting company of a pure devotee. It's unimaginable. What do you say? Just like Krishna comes, you'll go mad. Isn't it? Suppose in a house Krishna comes, you could not be able to believe. Arey Baba, mere ghar mein. I am not fit for this. So similarly, when you see the position of pure devotee, even you will feel like that. Can't believe a pure devotee has come. Actually, it's just similar. In rather, pure devotee is more merciful than the Lord. Krishna is strict. A devotee is very merciful. Correct? More merciful. So therefore, we can see the people just rushed. What an opportunity. And they dropped everything to be able to do something in his mission. Imagine a pure devotee comes and he has a mission. So take an example, all of you know Hanuman. So Hanuman appears and he is engaged some service to Lord Rama. What you will do? You will also drop and run. Baba, Hanuman has come, let me help him. True or not? The same way when Srila Prabhupada launched his mission, millions of people just ran. Oh my God, a pure devotee. Those who could understand, it's a great opportunity. Even smallest thing you can do in the service to Prabhupada, how much blessing you will get. Okay, so it's very, very rare. This point is clear? Very rare to become a pure devotee. Okay. Even Rupa Goswami says, it's not easy to become a pure devotee. Many births and so much sukriti you need to become to get eagerness to serve Krishna. It's very rare. So then what do we do now? Our condition. Very rare to become a pure devotee. Agreed? So what do we do? Very simple. Yena tena upayena mana Krishna niveshayat sarva vidhi nishedadu. Okay. So all the vidhi and nisheda will become kinkara, will become servant to this principle. What? Yena, kena, upayena, somehow put your mind on Krishna. Now when you think about the position of a pure devotee, we will see we are nowhere. We are very far away. Very, very far away. Far away means like we'll feel really ashamed. Now suppose you go and meet some pure devotee, we will not feel like even sitting there. We'll say, oh, better let me go far away. Because our position is very embarrassing. But what do we do in this condition? How does pure devotee work? What did Prabhupada do? Somehow or another, yena tena upayena mana Krishna niveshayat. Somehow or another put the mind on Krishna. That's it. There is one example of this. There was one thief. So what happened that this thief was hearing a Bhagavad Katha. And he heard that, in the forest, it was stolen. He heard about Krishna, who has all the decorations of Krishna was hearing in Bhagavatam. Krishna is wearing that ornament. And he's a thief. Thief means when he hears jewelry, what happens? He thinks I can go and take. In a forest means child is unprotected, I can run and take everything. So believing in the words of that Bhagavat speaker, he came to forest of Vrindavan to search for Krishna, fully accepting that Krishna is there. And then when Krishna came in front of him, because he was so eager to see Krishna, Krishna came. Why we also went to Vrindavan, we don't see, because we don't have that faith. But he had somehow full faith. Correct, he has spoken, Krishna is there. And he saw, where is Krishna? Where is with full faith? Tak, Krishna appeared. Krishna is always in Vrindavan, correct? But not manifest now, but he can manifest if you are sincere. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, he manifested, he saw him. Correct? So, manifested, and then, so he told Krishna, can you give me this jewelry? Krishna said, no, Mother Yashoda will be very angry. I can't give you. So he didn't give, but anyway they were talking, Krishna is very cute to look at. So they were talking and they were joking, and then after some time what happened? Krishna understood now his mind has changed. He said, you want the jewelry? He said, no, you keep. So yena ke tena upayena, somehow you come in contact with Krishna over. It will sarva vidhi, all do's, don'ts, everything will be subservient to this principle. Try to understand, to become pure devotees, even more rare. So what we should do? Somehow put your mind on Krishna at this time. Somehow. And that's what the Acharya Prabhupada did when he went to America. He had the audience in front of him. What to say? They are drug addicts. When he was taking class in the morning, the people who are attending the class had taken drugs whole night. Just imagine what kind of audience he had, the Acharya. We would have just got up and run away. Who will talk to them? Would you talk? You are holding a class at your home in the morning, Gita class, suppose. And who come people all dirty, not even taken bath, whole night they were awake. And Prabhupada, yena tena upayena, somehow, he said, just chant with him the Hare Krishna mantra. They just heard him, correct? And he said, rest, all the rules, regulations will slowly come.